This is another example that I really like because I think it really requires your ability to pay attention to all the information that's given. So it's talking about a kite. So we have to bring to this question our understanding of a kite. Most of us probably know that a kite is basically shaped like that. We know these two shorter sides are equal and the longer sides are equal to one another. It's talking about adjacent sides. What's our understanding of the word adjacent? Adjacent is alongside. So I guess these two are adjacent, but so also are these two. They're adjacent. They're next to one another. So when it says the adjacent sides are length 4 and 7, I know not to put a 4 and a 7 there because that doesn't make sense. We've just established our understanding of a kite is those two sides are equal. So my 4 would go there and my 7 would go there. It says then, so that's just in that one sentence. This is what I mean about you've got to pay attention to the detail. And you break it down word by word sometimes, word by word. It then goes on to say the longer diagonal, the longer diagonal. What are the diagonals? The diagonals join vertex to vertex. So there and this one, they're the two diagonals. But it says the longer diagonal. So the continuous line makes an angle of 45 degrees and 23.8 degrees with the sides of the kite. So there are two angles that the diagonal makes with the kite. There are two angles. Oops, sorry. Where are they going to be? Well, one of the angles, the side of the kite, is here, and the other one is up here. Sorry about that. So we can see then 45 is a bigger angle than 23. Now we have to work out where, by my diagram, is the bigger angle. Which one of these would be 45 and which one would be 23? And you might play around with a kite a little bit. What if the kite actually did this and it came down very quickly? And here is my longer diagonal. I'm thinking about the size of the angle the diagonal makes with the side. I think we can see that this is going to be a bigger angle than this one. This is a sharper angle. And coming back then to our original diagram, we can see hopefully now that the bigger angle is going to be at the top. So this is going to be our 45. And this one is going to be our sharper angle, and it's going to be 23.8. Now, we're given two angles, but we're asked to find the area of the kite. We don't have a formula that we can use in this situation for the area of the kite. Now, this question is made a little bit easier for you because it's in the exercise about area of a triangle. What we're going to do is find the area of half the kite. So we'll need this side, which we've got, which is 4, this side 7, and we'll need the size of that angle. Well, at this stage we don't have that. We've got a 45 there and a 23.8 there. So we'll have to now make the connection to the three angles of a triangle add to 180 degrees. So there's all these connections that you also have to make. Not only do you have to be able to interpret the information, You need to make connections to appropriate maths. And so I've got that the three angles add to give 180 degrees. I'll solve the equation for C. That means I take the 45 over and subtract it, and take that 23.8 and subtract it. And you should be getting your calculator. Pause the video, get your calculator and check that you can get that number. Please make sure you do that. Now, so we've got that the angle C is 111.2 degrees. So we've finally got the information that we would need to work out the area of just half the kite. Only half the kite. It's a triangle. Half the kite is a triangle. And the formula for the area of a triangle in this case is a half AB sine C. So we've got a half. The two sides are 4 and 7. Sine 111.2. And putting that in the calculator, we've got 13.05253322. That is only half of the kite, and that's why actually writing that will help you keep track of where you're at. Just because you've used a formula and you've got the area of a triangle doesn't mean you've answered the question. If you identify with a few words what you're actually doing, you won't cheat yourself, and you will be more likely to get all the marks that are available. So once we've got that, then we can simply take our answer and times it by 2 and get 26.1, correct to 1 decimal place, so it's 26.1. And what would the units be? They are centimetres squared. So I would think that you probably need to replay this video and think about all the different connections you had to make, all the different interpretations of the information. Well, not different interpretations, but how you had to interpret all of the information that was given. And again, yeah, sure, this would be a Band 6 level question, but you are capable of accessing the marks for this type of question. And you will only get better at this from here on. So keep persevering with them. They may seem difficult now, but in a very short amount of time, you're going to look back and say, yeah, I'm quite used to doing making lots of connections, recalling lots of different rules, reading information really carefully, and really paying attention to the detail.